Welcome back to Golf Center. I brought Kevin Smeltz, the Director of Golf at the IJGA, over to talk a little bit more about the 3D analysis we were talking about in the prior segments. Kevin, one of the things everybody in golf is trying to do, most of them anyway, is to hit the ball farther.
Certainly the people at home, you know, your average weekend warrior, you have a desk job and you just get out on the weekends. I mean, everyone wants to hit it farther, right? You see Bubba Watson and the Dustin Johnsons and even the Lexi Thompsons on the LPGA Tour always want to hit it farther. So, I mean, one of the things you can kind of see with the 3D technology is what's called lift, right? So,
and that's a part of the swing where we get up here and we're talking about this upward motion right here as we work our way down.
So just like in, you know, if you think of volleyball 20 years ago, everyone served underhand. And then it started overhand. Now it's a jump serve, right? There's a reason why there's a jump serve, because it produces more power. So you see someone, let's say like a Paula Creamer or something, and she stays down through the ball and doesn't hit it real far, and her pelvis stays down and she goes like this, versus like a Yanni Singh. Tiger Woods squat, and then he snapped his left leg. Explode, right? So as he's squatting, what's his pelvis doing? It's moving down. As he snaps his left leg, he gets this lift, this upward motion through the ball that really helps accelerate the club.
And definitely a power move when you're watching the Remax Long Drive Championship. That's definitely what you see out of the guys, as well as as they're going through. They're really kind of jumping at it, trying to generate all that speed.
Absolutely right. You don't see a long drive guy with his feet on the ground ever around impact, right?
They're right up there with the heels up.
A little bit exaggerated for the average golfer, but certainly some of that can help them produce a lot more power for sure.
Now, the 3D measuring device. Okay, we have 8 sensors, as we talked about before. Some that obviously have to be around this pelvis region to not only measure kind of rotation, but also the upward motion.
Correct.
How do we go ahead and measure that, and what do we look for in terms of, you know, timing on it and how quickly things happen and so on?
Right, so there's the sensor on the Ultimate system, there's one on the pelvis on the back, and then obviously your thorax and arms and all the sensors, the 8 sensors. So the timing of it's crucial obviously too. So we talked a little bit about in a prior segment about the sequence and how things are moving. So you certainly don't want to do it too quick. It's a power decreaser, right? You certainly want to do it at the right moment. So that's one of the things that the sequence you can measure in that is if you're doing it at the right time and how that energy, as you said earlier, transfers into the club.
And could we almost compare that to a baseball pitcher and, you know, how he generates and just, you know, happens to release the ball just right? You know, obviously if he does it too slow, he's not going to generate the speed he wants. If he does it too quick, he's going to probably not only not get the speed, but lose control.
Right.
So do we have a consistent speed that's right for everybody, or is it based on the individual?
I think it's based on the individual. People have different flexibilities, different schedules where they can practice more or less, but certainly the sequence you see to create power is the same for all people. Like you said, Tiger's going to have the right sequence, Jim Furyk's going to have the right sequence, but certainly not the pelvic velocity that Rory McIlroy has. So,
all right, let's talk about Rory and why he hits it so far, because like we said, he has a motion that's what? Go ahead and if you could go through that again for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's over 2 times faster than the average PGA Tour player.
And that's what part of the body moving?
That's
so let's
his
talk
pelvis.
About
so after he shifts his weight forward, right, so it's measuring rotational velocity.
Okay.
After he shifts his weight forward, that moves so fast, and so that's where it starts, right? It starts from the ground into the pelvis, ground up, so that all that pelvis velocity, if you time it correctly, as he obviously does, transfers more energy into the upper body, more energy to the arm, and more energy into the club.
Snap at that club and more ball.
The club. Exactly. So it's kind of that whiplash effect that people talk in terms of. So, I mean, there's, like I say, we can measure that now. Rory's been on systems that measure that, and you can actually measure it, versus before it was like, oh, he has a little bit more lag, or he coils a little bit more.
And now we know at home why Rory hits it so far. Kevin, thank you so much for helping us out.
Great, thank you.
We'd like to thank you for joining us. For my co-host Bob Stevens, I'm PGA professional Chris Tremblay. We'll see you next time.